Bring it in, hard rockers, bring it in. Welcome to the channel, The Golden Age of Hard Rock. I'm Ricky Myers, and thank you for joining us for another episode of The Week in Hard Rock. And it was a good one this week. There's a lot of great anniversaries for albums, 45s, and of course, a couple of killer birthdays in this month also. So let's kick it off first with my hard rock glass. This one, get up there. Barcelona. Man, what a fun trip that was. Barcelona, and for today, our beverage of choice is a Little Sumpin Sumpin, a Lagunitas Brewing out of Petaluma, California. So let's get that started while we're talking here. Hey, and hey, we are now at 476 hard rockin' maniacs, including myself. And last week it was 455, and hey, 456 would have been onwards and upwards, but you guys blew it out of the water. So cheers. Welcome to all the new subscribers and returning subscribers. Cheers. So let's dive in. So in 1976, on October 21st, Kansas, and you're probably thinking, what the hell you got there, Ricky? This is how I actually store my CDs. I remove them from the official packaging, the big thick case, put them in one of these little paper sleeves, and then put them in here, and I put the artwork on the other side. So whenever I come upon one that's like this with no artwork, that tells me that it's either one that I don't have the artwork for, or it's a copy that I ripped, burned, someone gave, traded me, whatever. But anyway, Kansas Leftoverture had the huge hit Carry On Wayward Son on it, along with a bunch of other great songs too. And then in 1983, on October 21st, Dio released the 45 single for Rainbow in the Dark. I collect, like I need another thing to collect. That's what my wife tells me. I do not need another thing to collect, but I do collect 45 singles whenever they have a really cool decorative cover. Unfortunately, this is one I don't have, but it does have a really cool decorative cover. And you can take a look at it at either down below in the community, just scroll back to October 21st, or you could also find it over on the Facebook page titled The Golden Age of Hard Rock. Just again, go back to October 21st and you'll see it. It's a really cool piece of art, I think, and I'd love to have it in my collection one day. Next up is October 22nd, 1969 gave us Led Zeppelin 2. I don't like to rank albums, but I will say my favorite Led Zeppelin song of all time is Immigrant Song off of Led Zeppelin 3. My favorite total package album by them is definitely Led Zeppelin 2, man. From first song to the last song. You can also say that about a lot of Led Zeppelin stuff, but man, this one is my all-time favorite. 1974 gave us this. Try to keep the glare off for you guys. Kiss. Hot, hot. Hotter than hell. Also known as Rip, Rip, Rip and Destroy for those fans of Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. Really cool one. I don't know if I can point this out, but man, this was the one that they went out to LA. The first one was made in New York. Then they went out to LA, and look at Paul Stanley drunk off of his ass, holding on to Peter Criss's ass. Yeah, Paul, I think even on the back, yeah. Paul got so trashed out there at the photo shoot that who knows, he may have been violated by some band members according to some of the autobiographies. Anyway, that's all I want to say about that. Hot, hot, hotter than hell. Next up in 1976 is another Led Zeppelin release. The song remains the same. For this one, I don't even have it. Went to pull these things out to make this video, and I'm like, damn, I do not even have a copy of The Song Remains the Same. If anybody is feeling charitable and would like to send me a burned copy of The Song Remains the Same, I would be ever so grateful. In fact, one of the things I could send you in return is Golden Age of Hard Rock stickers. I have the old ones and the new ones. But if anyone's interested in hooking me up with a copy of that, check out my email address is avenger2354@gmail.com. I'd be much appreciative to add that to my collection because I'm just a charity case. What can I say? So in 1984, another kick-ass, badass artwork 45 that I don't own in my collection, Iron Maiden released the single for Aces High. That could possibly be some of the best artwork ever to grace a 45 single. Man, you gotta drop down in the comments, check it out. Cool ass pic of Eddie in a Spitfire being fired upon, going in for the kill. Okay, in 2012, on October 23rd, I had to check that out for a second. Peter Criss, you know, it's funny how these things run. This is a second Kiss item already. Anyway, there's some glare on there because I have a protective cover, but Peter Criss released his biography, Make Up to Break Up. And it was quite an interesting read, as I have to say, all four of them are quite an interesting read. Each one of them has a biography out, and then there's the, I'm going to draw a blank on it, but Nothing to Lose. Ken Sharp worked on that. That's actually a pretty cool book too. But I think you almost have to read all four of these to try to paint the picture of what really went down back in the heyday. Because there are a lot of accusations in each one of these books about various things and how it went down. But anyway, that was released in 2012. Next up, we got two album anniversaries here. Don't have the artwork for either one of them, but AEROSMITH, a live bootleg, was released in 1978, and one of my favorites, Cheap Trick, All Shook Up, was released in 1980. The 25th had two killer birthdays. I mean, when you think of these two guys, both have birthdays on the same day, and all of the music that they would have created together, or have created for all of us all these years. First, you have Glenn Tipton of Judas Priest turning 76, and then Matthias Jabs of the Scorpions, and he turned 68 on the 25th, and he's the only one I got a photo of to show you right here, right? Yeah, happy birthday, Matthias. Man, again, think just of all of those songs by either the Scorpions or Judas Priest, that if those two guys weren't around, those songs may not be there, and if they were, they'd totally be different songs anyway. So happy birthday to Glenn and Matthias. Also on the 25th, Deep Purple in 1971 released a 45 single for Fireball off of the Fireball album. Okay, on the 26th, we had a historic concert. So sometimes I have to mention these shows whenever they have such historical relevance. But on the 26th, October 26th, 1981, Bruce Dickinson played his first show ever with Iron Maiden. And this would have been at the Palasport in Bologna, Italy. First show. What I find interesting about that very first show also is that, okay, so he had taken over for, after Paul Di'Anno had been released. He takes over. There are still 7 performances left of the Killers tour. So what you have for those shows, except for the last 2 which were in London, the first 5 were in Italy. For those Italy shows, it is nothing but Paul playing Paul Di'Anno songs. There are no songs from Number of the Beast yet. The album hasn't been written yet. So it's an interesting set list when you go and look at it. And again, you can find it on the Facebook page with links to the actual show. There's a bootleg made of it, a very famous bootleg recording. The complete set list, songs only from Iron Maiden and Killers. Now, once they got to London on the very last show, they added in some songs they had been working on So that was probably the first time ever those songs were ever played from that would eventually show up on Number of the Beast. But anyway, historic day, October 26, 1981, Bruce Dickinson plays his first show ever with Iron Maiden. On the 27th, we have another incredible guitar player's birthday. And he's kind of paired with the other two because it is none other than KK Downing. And KK Downing turned 72 on October 27th. Those two guys, man, their birthdays were just 2 days apart, Glenn and KK. Anyway, happy birthday, KK. Also, one last album anniversary, 1975, Angel gave us Angel, the debut. Man, there's some good songs on here. And I had so much fun last year going to see Angel for the first time in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. It was like a 3-hour road trip for me, but well worth it to hear some of these songs like Tower, Long Time, Rock and Rollers. It was a great show. Anyway, 1975 Angel debut. Well, guys, that's a wrap for this week in hard rock. Hey, thank you for joining us. And now we're at 476. So, hey, onwards and upwards. By the next video, hopefully we'll be at 477. Until then, keep rocking. Hell yeah. Enjoy the weekend.